All right, buckle up, everyone, because we're about to head straight back to ancient Rome.
That's right. Get ready for gladiators, emperors, and all that good stuff.
We're doing a deep dive today into the upcoming Gladiator sequel.
Gladiator 2, that's right.
Specifically how historically accurate or inaccurate it might be.
Yeah, because if you saw the first Gladiator movie, you know they took some liberties.
They did.
Especially when it comes to Commodus's reign.
Yeah, and speaking of liberties, we got some awesome stuff from a listener
Oh, yeah.
about this sequel. And one of the things that really caught my eye, they said that Russell Crowe's character, Maximus, is back.
What?
Even though he
died.
pretty definitively died in the first one. Yeah. So that got us thinking, how much is Gladiator 2 going to stick to the history books and how much will be, pure Hollywood?
Right, and that's what we're going to deep dive into today.
Exactly.
So maybe we should start with Commodus.
Yeah, let's start with Commodus.
His obsession with the gladiatorial arena, it was a lot more than just him loving a good show.
Right.
He fancied himself a real-life Hercules.
Oh, wow.
He thought he was like the embodiment of a divine hero.
Oh, so the arena was like his stage then?
Exactly. It was his way to show off his strength and his quote-unquote God-given abilities to everyone.
It's a really interesting way to think about it. It makes you wonder how they're going to portray him in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, is he going to be power-hungry? Is he delusional? Or maybe a little of both.
Right.
And, one thing the listener mentioned that really blew my mind was that Commodus actually fought in the arena himself.
He did.
Can you imagine, like, a president or a prime minister these days doing that?
Oh, no way.
Like, getting in there and doing hand-to-hand combat?
It's just unheard of.
It's wild. But back then, like, gladiatorial combat was a huge part of their society, right?
It was, yeah. It wasn't just about, like, the brutal fights.
Right.
It was actually a really complex system with all sorts of different gladiators.
Different kinds.
Yeah. Yeah, they all had special skills, different armor, their own fighting styles.
Like, give me an example.
Well, you had the Retiarius.
Retiarius.
Yeah, and they would fight with nets and tridents.
Oh, wow.
Then you had guys like the Murmillo.
Okay.
They had these giant swords and shields, really heavy stuff.
That's so cool. I wonder if the film is going to get into all that.
I wonder about that too.
Because it would be really interesting to see all those different types.
Yeah, it would be.
But then again, maybe they'll just stick with those like one-on-one duels.
Yeah, probably for the drama.
For simplicity, yeah.
Keep it simple.
And, thinking about the first movie, I was remembering how Commodus dies.
Yeah.
And it's this big dramatic scene, very Hollywood.
It was.
But the listener's info says it didn't really happen that way at all.
Not even close.
So do you think filmmakers should always try to stick to the facts? Or is it okay to change things up to make a better story?
Well, that's a tough one.
It is.
Historical accuracy is definitely important.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to use your imagination to make a good story. It's all about balance, right?
Yeah, finding that balance between telling a good story and being respectful of the history.
Exactly.
Because in reality, the way Commodus died wasn't glamorous at all.
No, it wasn't.
He was assassinated.
Yeah, they think a wrestler actually strangled him.
Wow, that's a far cry from the arena.
Yeah, no big public spectacle.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example of them blending truth with fiction to make the story work.
Right.
And speaking of twists, apparently after Commodus died, things got really messy politically.
Oh, yeah, total chaos.
With all these different emperors trying to grab power.
One after the other, it was wild.
So much drama.
Betrayal, power struggles, you name it.
Imagine that. Alliances being made and broken.
Plots hatched in the shadows.
Maybe even some chariot chases through the streets of Rome.
Could you imagine?
Oh, man. That's ripe for a sequel.
Totally.
Even if they, spice things up a little for the big screen.
Of course, a little Hollywood magic never hurt anyone.
Okay, now let's address the giant gladiator in the room.
Oh, here we go.
Maximus is back.
Back from the dead.
Which is confusing since he, died.
Yeah, he was pretty dead.
So how's that even possible?
Bringing back a dead character, that's a bold move.
It is.
Historically, gladiators didn't tend to make comebacks from the afterlife.
No, they didn't.
But the stuff you got from the listener,
yeah,
it hinted at some interesting things.
Yeah, what do you think? How do they bring him back?
Well, they might dive into Roman mythology.
Oh, interesting.
Their beliefs about the afterlife, maybe that's how they explain it.
So, maybe there's some forgotten Roman god.
Maybe a god of second chances or resurrection or something.
He decides to bring Maximus back.
Yeah, pull some strings from up above.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or what if it's a twist?
Ooh, I love twists.
What if it's not really Maximus?
Oh, like someone else
Taking up his mantle,
fighting in his name.
inspired by his legend.
That would be so cool.
It's a real head-scratcher, you know?
It is.
The filmmakers have so many options.
I know.
It's fun to speculate, you know?
It is.
It's all part of the excitement for the movie.
Totally. So today we've really dug into the historical Commodus,
We have
his obsession with the arena,
his love-hate relationship with it.
and how his on-screen death was very different from the real deal.
Totally different.
We even brainstormed how this sequel might handle the crazy political situation after he died.
That's gonna be good.
And of course, the biggest question mark.
The return of Maximus.
How do you bring back a dead gladiator?
The mystery continues.
And you know what the great thing about historical fiction
What's that?
is that it gets people interested in the past.
It does.
And then they want to go and learn more.
Yeah, discover the real stories.
Exactly. And separate the truth from the myths.
That's right.
So listeners, we've given you a lot to chew on today.
We have.
But now we want to hear from you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What are your theories?
How do you think Maximus comes back?
Head over to our social media pages and tell us what you think.
We can't wait to see what you come up with.
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.